Judge Andrew Napolitano to talk about all sorts of things. Judge, you know Bill Binney, William Binney, former NSA official, the architect of the NSA surveillance program.
Yes.
He says that the person, as it turns out, despite what the DNC and Democrats are saying, it was not Russia that hacked the DNC. It was perhaps it was somebody from the NSA who was angry about the fact that she was using personal email server, which violated what is called gamma material, which is the most sensitive at the NSA. Do you believe that?
I do believe it, and one of the reasons that there is so much anxiety, it's very interesting, and it's probably going to become an issue in the campaign. One of the reasons there is so much anxiety about Mrs. Clinton from the intelligence community is the belief that some of the materials that she handled with such extreme carelessness, I'm using Jim Comey's phrase, in my opinion it was criminal, but in the FBI director's opinion it was extreme carelessness, contained the names of American undercover intelligence agents, some of whom are no longer with us. This is the belief of a lot of people in the intelligence community. If Mrs. Clinton does become president of the United States, she's going to have a lot of antipathy towards her by people in the intelligence community. This is the tip of the iceberg.
But that wasn't in the report that people might have died because names were listed and sent, right?
Correct. Correct. The FBI did not reveal that. The FBI never revealed the contents, and quite properly, because it's still classified.
Sure.
The FBI never revealed the contents of the 25 top secret, of which 5 were SAP, meaning even FBI agents didn't have the clearance to reveal them. So Bill Binney is saying of the 60,000 NSA agents and contractors, there's a critical mass who fear Mrs. Clinton's presidency, and more likely than not hacked into the DNC
so the
and
NSA
leaked
has
this.
got him.
So this is a man you know well, Judge,
Yes.
and he recently did a radio interview where he explained essentially that. Listen.
If you had to just estimate here as an analyst who your best guess, what would be your best guess for who the hacker is, who Lucifer 2 is?
In this situation, I was thinking about how many other people had this data and hacked into the DNC. Well, as hacking into Hillary's server at home. I go back to a statement made by Director Mueller of the FBI back in 30th of March of 2011, and he said he got together with the Department of Defense and they created a technology database where he, as a member of the FBI, could go in with one query and get all past emails and all future ones as they came in on a person. Now, what he's talking about is going into the NSA database. So that means that NSA and a number of other agencies in the U.S. government also have those emails.
So what he's saying is there's this NSA database, and unbeknownst to us, because there's no oversight, the FBI, the CIA has access to it. Comey could have looked at Hillary's email if they had him, but then he'd open a whole can of worms.
Right. Then he would be revealing that the NSA, in fact, does have everybody's emails, which
and
a lot of us,
be a secret.
right, which a lot of us believe, which Bill Binney, a former NSA official who developed the software that the NSA uses, says they have, but which the NSA has never officially acknowledged. There would also be serious criminal violations if the FBI had unfettered access to the NSA material. The FBI has to ask for it or get a search warrant for it. Did they ask? Did they get a search warrant for Mrs. Clinton's materials? Answer, no.
Well, it's unthinkable to think that if they could be the source of the leaked emails that cost Debbie Wasserman Schultz her job. I can't imagine the NSA feeding Julian Assange this information. Could you?
Yes, and that's exactly.
You think they would actually use that outlaw, that worldwide criminal?
That is exactly what Bill Binney is saying, and
we would never do that.
Well,
it's not we. It's a guy.
It's American. This is not official federal government policy. This is the behavior. One of these 60,000 was Edward Snowden. So it's the behavior of some of these 60,000 people. Some are military, some are civilian employees of the government, some are outside contractors that many of them have access to. So, and they all have different levels of security clearance. Right. Some can go deeper into the NSA database than others.
Julian Assange was on another show yesterday and said that he got a lot more damning Hillary Clinton campaign emails coming out.
Okay, this again is going to become a campaign issue because WikiLeaks and Julian Assange blame Mrs. Clinton for the fact that he is in exile in the basement of the Ecuadorian embassy in London. They also condemn Mrs. Clinton's secrecy, and they want to reveal what they have. And Brian, I know you don't like this guy, but every time they have promised a data dump, they have delivered. Yes.
So, thinking that there could be an October surprise, that is not inconceivable.
It is not inconceivable that they know exactly when. Look at what they did to Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Absolutely.
They know exactly the perfect timing to release these materials.
And I believe Assange said yesterday that there are emails that shows that Hillary Clinton, in part, helped arm ISIS.
Yes.
Yes, there is the view among a lot of people in the intelligence community for that, because when she was arming militias in Libya, which she claimed was to overthrow Gaddafi, the CIA warned her, these are not just militias you're arming. These are terrorist organizations. They're going to use the arms against us. She told them to go take a hike, and she armed them anyway, and we know what happened.
All right. Judge, thank you very much.
You're welcome, guys.
Thank you very much.
Now, who is sitting next to you? Is that Brian?
Yeah.
Looks like Donny Osmond to some.
Love you, baby.
It is so good to see you, Judge.
All right.
This is on-camera tension. You don't hear much of that.